The MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WynnBET. Bet $100 at WynnBET and get a $100 free bet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. We're also brought to you by the SGPN merch store. Use the promo code NFCBEAST for 15% off, active until the Eagles or the Giants lose their next game. And make sure to enter our World Series prop contest. Winner gets $200 cash and a $200 SGPN gift card. Enter today exclusively on the SGPN app. Welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford. I am coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is Friday, October the 28th. Day one, official day one of the World Series. We are here to bring you a Game 1 picks and DFS lineup show. And joining us first up, Mr. Noah Bennick. Noah, what's happening?
What's going on, Malcolm? And I added these sound bites. Dylan hasn't heard them, so we're going to play them again.
Oh, Dylan. Noah, well, I'll introduce Dylan. Dylan, first of all, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Malcolm. I'm excited. Breakdown. I'll give you guys my World Series prediction. I have a World Series MVP, and I made my first ever DFS lineup. Can't wait.
Yeah, that's exciting. Yes. I can't believe you weren't a DFS player. It's incredible. So yeah, just
the trumpets are out. There's a new song. I don't know if you've heard of it, but.
So I need to warn you, Dylan. Noah's like a dog with two dicks at the minute, and I don't really know why. He was like on the podcast as soon as we joined last night. He was just ridiculously excited. His little face was beaming.
Series, how can you not be?
So he's got his little soundbite. He's got Dancing on My Own, which I'm old school. I know the Robin version from back in the day. I didn't realise the bloke who sings it. We just talked about him last night. Is he called Matt something? What's he called?
Callum,
that's him. He was on Britain's Got Talent. He sang that on Britain's Got Talent about 7 years ago. Really? Just came on as as a novice singer, sang that. And then all of a sudden he's now kind of the unofficial anthem of Philadelphia fans everywhere. So
awesome.
He's done well for himself. So Noah's really pleased with himself, Dylan. So just go steady around him. He's like a big kid.
I love the energy. I'm just honestly sad that I don't know the song.
Oh, you don't know the song?
No.
All right. Well, the song's
way over my head. Everything.
Write it down. The song's called "Dancing on My Own." There's two versions. The Robin version is the OG version. That's when I was in my prime, back in the summer of love, 1993.
Who's it by?
That
Dancing
kind of
on My Own.
So it's by Callum Scott, I believe, and it's the Tiesto remix. That's the Philly version.
All right, Cal. My thing also. Malcolm, what do you mean when they say the rubbing on version? Because I think that means different over here than
the song was the original song was by a singer called Robin, Robyn. I can't even remember. Was it late 90s maybe? What's funny about that?
No, I'm just like, you can't remember. It's maybe late.
Of course, 90s. I can't remember. Poor dickhead, he's antagonizing me already.
I love music. I can on the first note or two, I can name a song like that's in my genre. It's wild. I get it from like.
Can you sing?
It's the same. No, I don't have a lick of singing talent, but I can recognize a song, and I'll sing in my car. But
yeah,
I ain't singing in public. So Dylan, we kind of went off the rails, but you weren't on the podcast yesterday, right? No. What do you think's going to happen in this World Series? Give us your preview.
Yeah, so interesting World Series matchup. You got to think the experience and everyone from the Astros coming over. I think they're hotter than the Phillies right now. The only thing I really think the Phillies can compete with the Astros is the lineup. I think they could go 1 through 9 and compete with them, but I think coaching, Houston has an advantage. I think pitching, bullpen especially. I think defensively, Philly makes errors still. So I'm excited to see what Philly does. I think they can steal one, but ultimately, I think I'm going to go with Munoff's team. I like the Astros here.
Do it for Dusty.
Yeah, do it for
Dusty. And if you got a number in mind, how many games is it going to take them to get it done then?
Yeah, so I mean, I like the Astros in 6. I got it at plus 350. I think they do it in 6 games. I think Phillies will be able to win one, maybe on the road, maybe one at home, but I think the experience is going to come to in a factor. And I can't not back the Astros right now. I think they got a little chip on their shoulder. Everyone still calls them cheaters, so they have something to prove, and I'll go to bat with them at any day. So I like the Astros in 6 at plus 350.
Astros in 6. So I think that's really we had two votes for Astros in 5 and 2 votes for Astros in 6. So yeah, we're all pretty much on.
With me.
I was. I actually had the exacta for it. So if people want a 25-1 bet, I'm not going to give it out on this one. Please just go over and give us a little bit of a download. Come on. Even if you want to go to the final 5 minutes of the podcast and hear the locks, give us a download. And if one of our massive plays hits, I think each of us gave out like a 5-1 or even larger. If one of them hit, just give us a review before we go into hibernation for the winner, please.
No, real quick, before I give my World Series MVP, did you guys give out one?
Yes, we did.
Who do you guys like?
So my MVP, I had Framber Valdez 11-1. I think that he can get 2 wins, and I think he wins in the clincher in Game 6. I think it's going to be mostly a low-scoring series.
I do too.
So that's my lean on that. Normally, pitchers don't usually win the award, but low-scoring series gives them a chance. Now, my long shot, I shared the opinion with Malcolm. I think Chas McCormick at 50-1 is a great play. Wow. The dude's been great in the postseason so far. He's hitting 250 with an 898 OPS, and he has 2 taters. Malcolm, who would you have an MVP? Because I do have one that I'd like to add for the Phillies side, because we didn't give anything really Phillies related for MVP yesterday.
Yeah, Chas McCormick was the fun player, wasn't he? That you short sample size. If I've got the series going 5 games, so I couldn't give it to a pitcher. It had to go to bats, and you're looking for one person to get over 5 games. It's not inconceivable that person could be Chas McCormick. So 50-1 looked like a fancy price. I also put in Alex Bregman and Jose Altuve 12-1 and 14-1. So Dylan, if you got any plays for that, and then we'll get back to Noah. I mean, he can give us this little Phillies angle that he's got.
Yeah, I'll give one in a sec. I want to know what don't you guys see from the Phillies that Malcolm thinks is going to be a shorter series than you and I, Noah. So what are we not seeing from the Phillies that they can't get done against the Astros?
Well, in the betting preview, we went very deep into it. I think it's 1, bullpen, 2, defense, 3, the lineup's not hot. I think a lot of people are talking about the lineup being hot. Mm-hmm. I don't think they are. I think a lot of them, they're 1 through 5. I think 3 of the top 5 hitters in that lineup are actually having playing under their career average throughout the postseason. So you could say in reverse effect, they could get rolling here in the World Series. Like the fact that they've gotten here and they haven't played their best baseball is great. But that's what I kind of look at, because I think the Astros arms are just so good.
Yeah, and I think they're deeper, much deeper. Yeah, for me, I have the same one as you, Malcolm. I got Alex Bregman at 12-1. I think he's one of the Astros' hottest hitters in the postseason. He has hits in 6 of his 7 games, going on 10 for 30 overall. And Bregman, if you look back to last World Series, he went 2 for 21. I have a feeling he made it kind of his mission to come out and have a good World Series and forget about last year, get it off of his back. And I think he's going to have plenty of opportunities to get RBIs batting behind Yordan Alvarez. So I think there's value there. He's going to start every game. So Alex Bregman 12-1 would be my World Series MVP.
Yeah, that's a nice price. Before we get into game 1 then, Noah, you've got a Phillies angle for is this an MVP that you want to check out?
Yes, it's an MVP. And first off,
come on, then.
Bregman is like a good grudge guy. I think that's a nice angle there. Didn't know that stat from last year's World Series, or I honestly didn't remember it. For the Phillies, we didn't really give them much love in the MVP consideration. If you are backing the Phillies, I don't see Philly winning in the first 5 games. I think it goes 6. I think it goes 7. If it goes 6, I mean, the shoo-in's got to be Bryce Harper. This is a legacy postseason that he is establishing for himself. He's put the city on his back. It's 7-1, still plus money. It's still a great win. If this thing goes 7, while we were recording, or maybe just an hour before, even after my prep was done, Aaron Nola was confirmed the game 1 starter instead of Zach Wheeler. We had to completely flip around our SGPN contest. Zach Wheeler's been a little, I guess, banged up. Like, he's kind of been battling a little bit of an injury throughout the second half of the season. They've been iffy on starting him on short rest. Aaron Nola could very much go on short rest. Game 4, we don't know who's starting for the Phillies. In Philadelphia, that city could get behind him if he starts on short rest. So you give a solid 6-7 innings game 1 against Verlander, that thing's going to be low scoring. They could win game 1. Game 4, you go out there and you give it some guts, and somehow Philly wins in game 4. And then again on short rest in the 7th game of the series. Why can't it be Aaron Nola, Malcolm?
No, absolutely right. I think it's a perfectly reasonable angle. I think a lot of it will have to do with the scoreline. If they,
I think so too.
Yeah, it depends where they are in game 4, whether they're going in with a lead or if they're playing catch up, stuff like that. But it's as a narrative, it's reasonable. It's not totally egregious to think that might occur, Noah. And yeah, I wasn't surprised that Nola was going in front of Wheeler, and we did have to swap a few things around. So no, I've got no problem with that at all.
And he's 18-1.
Nice. Yeah, you're right. We didn't give Phillies enough love. And I felt last night we talked a lot about the Astros, and I gave out the Astros in 5, and it sounded really chalky. And I'm like not fading the Phillies even a little bit, because this is such a... Everything we say on these podcasts comes with the caveat that it is a tiny little sample size.
It is.
In a sport where you can barely put a cigarette paper between the two teams at any point, even if it's the worst team against the best team. We've seen the Rockies sweep the Dodgers this season. Yeah, that just happens all the time. So yeah, you caveat everything with the fact that it's a tiny little sample size. So as much as we were bullish, and all 4 of us have given out this different versions of the same bet effectively. There's absolutely nothing stopping Philly going and blow this thing up. So if they do, Aaron Nola's a perfectly feasible bet. So yeah, Nola will start tomorrow.
Ryan Gilbert's going to take our job in the MLB podcast next year.
Is he all over that? Is he?
Big Philly fan, NHL gambling podcast host, also fantasy baseball. Shout out Ryan.
Yeah, he's been spelling himself on Twitter the last couple of weeks. He's been good value. Okay, we'll get on to our game 1 handicaps before we give out our DFS lineups. The numbers we pick up come from WinBet, our headline sponsor here. If you bet $100 at WinBet, you'll get a $100 free bet. The WinBet Biggest Winners Club is rolling along. Whoever hits the biggest parlay on WinBet gets a $1,000 free bet. That is truly DJs only. WinBet's build your own bet feature as well for some amazing same game parlays. Loads to choose from. Head to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/winbet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. Offer subject to change. T's and C's at winbet.com. Must be 21 or older and present in the state where playthrough WinBet's available. If you're someone who has a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. YouTube, the Sports Gambling Podcast, giving you a chance to win a choice of either an autographed Lawrence Taylor, LT, one of my favourite players, or autographed Brian Dawkins, who's my other favourite player, contest in a completely free-to-enter thing. Subscribe to youtube.com/Sports Gambling Podcast. Comment on a video. Each video is a new chance to win. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss SGP contacting you when they pull the winner. And don't forget our SGPN app MLB World Series contest. Prop contest, $200 in cash and a $200 SGPN gift card for the winner. Enter today exclusively on the SGPN app. I'm going to have to go and check my entry in that, check some of my props with the Wheeler Nola flip. Okay, so game 1 tomorrow starts at what you see, I've got 01:03. It starts at 3 minutes past 1 in the morning my time. What time does it start Eastern? 7, 8, 3 past 7. Come on, I'm just shouting numbers. 3 minutes past 8 Eastern.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
8:03 Eastern, first pitch. The Philadelphia Phillies at the Houston Astros. Aaron Nola for the Phillies, Justin Verlander for the Astros. The Philadelphia Phillies are plus 145. The Houston Astros are minus 140. The total is set at 6.5. D-Rock, you're the man with the lines. How close are these bookies lines to what you've got? And give us your handicap and your picks.
Yeah, so 2 plays, I guess, would have value here. I made the total 6.2, so some value there. I made the Astros a minus 179 favorite, minus 1.5 plus 126. Flip it for the Phillies. I mean, I want to go get some plus money here, and I'm going to be kind of contrarian just because I think most people are going to be on the Phillies. I'm going to take the Astros on the run line at plus 136. I think the whole world is going to be on the Phillies. And in game 1 usually as well. And I like to fade the public. I'm going to trust my numbers here. I know Verlander hasn't had quote unquote the best postseason, but the Astros offense has come through for him and they've won both games he started. Everyone wants to talk about the Phillies offense. I think Noah alluded to it, but the Astros have just a better lineup as they do. Pretty solid. And I think Astros are better everywhere. I said starting, defensively, bullpen, coaching. The only thing that would be comparable, I would say, is the lineup. But I would have to go with the more experienced team who's been here before, who's probably been the best team for the last 4 or 5 years. Nola, he is going. I don't think he's that good on the road. This is a huge game 1. The crowd's going to go bananas. Hopefully Munoz in the crowd. In his last 7 away games, the Phillies are 2-5 straight up. They haven't covered the run line in 3 of those 5 games. So I think we're going to get a much better Verlander than we saw against Seattle. So at home, give me the Astros minus 1.5 plus 136.
So Astros on the run line for Dylan. I think we said last night they've won 6 of the 7 games they've played by 1 or 2 runs. They haven't actually put an awful lot of distance between themselves and the Yoppo, and that'll come onto my handicap of one of my mad picks that I've made in a little while. The chat is open as always. Captain Insano's in there. Aye, Captain. Hard Flex Pro is giving us Phillies in 6. So I think that's our first chirp up for the Phillies. Good luck if you're playing that one.
And that means something because he was our wild card contest winner. So he's saying in the chat that he just received his jersey that he won.
Oh,
in
nice.
That contest. Hard Flex Bro, what jersey did you get, if you don't mind me asking? But yeah, back to you now.
Yep. Captain Insano's co-signing Dylan's Astros run line. Noah, give us your game 1 picks.
I mean, I'm not like huge on like gambling juju and like other godly things, but from what I've heard, SGP's own Sean Green is going to be in the building. Game 1 of the World Series, massive Phillies fan. This could go south because we're all on the Astros and we're all on them winning the series. We think that they could win game 1 here too. So Philly, Houston, Aaron Nola 2-1 in the postseason, 3.12 ERA, 18 strikeouts, only 3 walks in 3 postseason starts. 1 start against Houston this year. It was his last regular season start. It was on October 3rd. He went 6.2 innings pitched, had 9 strikeouts, 2 hits, and no runs. Philly won that game 3-0. That was the game that they clinched a postseason berth in. Then on the very next day, Justin Verlander appeared against the Phillies. I'll get in that in a little bit, but in this postseason, he's 1-0. The ERA is a black eye. It's a 6.30 in 2 games with 14 strikeouts, 2 walks, and 2 postseason games. He had a really bad start in game 1 versus Seattle. He went 4 innings pitched, 6 runs on 10 hits with only 3 strikeouts. Then in game 1 against the Yankees, he was the classic Verlander that I'm used to seeing. 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run, and that was in the first 3 innings. And of course, it was a home run. This guy is going to go in the Hall of Fame with like the most home runs given up by a starting pitcher. But he only allowed 3 total hits, and he had 11 strikeouts. He got even more dominant as the game went on. That one start that I was talking about against the Phillies, it was without 3 or 4 of their best hitters in that lineup, but it was a 5-inning no-hitter. He was pulled with 77 pitches and 10 strikeouts. My handicap is this. The Phillies, they've been rolling, but the time off, I think, affects the offenses more than the pitching. In game one, I think it's going to be low scoring with giving the advantage to Verlander and Nola. In my opinion, I lean Astros. I think they stack up better in game one. I have 3 bets for this. Malcolm, do you want to talk about your handicap and then we'll talk about the bets?
Nope. I want to hear your bets.
All right. So almost all year, since I would say since June, when I really started leaning into the pitcher stuff, because after the whole college baseball season, I really got into following MLB pitchers because that's kind of what I am by habit, pitcher myself. So strikeouts, outs issued, that stuff, I think I would say I'm at least 20 units positive. All these 2-in-1 days talking about, hey, like this is a good guy to eye and strikeouts on this podcast, blah, blah, blah. There was at least like 3 guys a day that I was throwing out. Justin Verlander over 5.5 strikeouts is ridiculous. Minus 160 on our SGPN app. I took the over 7.5. This thing is just off. JV had 11 in his last start against New York, and he had 10 in that start against Philadelphia. When JV's going, he can get 8 strikeouts easy. Number 2, Aaron Nola over 16.5 outs issued at minus 120. The Phillies they need 6 innings from Nola. So you're talking 5 2/3. That's all you need to cash this out, cash this bet. I think he could go 7. So that bullpen cannot afford to have much stress on it at all. I like Nola over 16.5 outs. And then my third bet is actually like a little bit of a combo bet. Sprinkle both starting pitchers to get the win. Justin Verlander's plus 225 and Aaron Nola's plus 165. When we talk about Munaf's bets, I can explain why Verlander is going to be plus 225 and why he's a larger underdog than Nola. But I like both of them because if they go 6 or 7 and their team's winning and the bullpen holds on, I like the plus money play.
Okay, I like all that, Noah. You're right. Your K props and your pitching props from sort of mid-season onwards were absolutely flames, mate. You did some really good work, and I think everyone who listened and followed and would know that when the graphic went up most days, you were on the pitches, and you were absolutely flames. So yeah, congrats there.
Thank you.
Hard Flex Pro. There's a Yankees loving going on in the chat box here.
They're all holding hands.
Much to everyone's disgust.
Oh my God. I see it enough in the streets in New York. I don't need it to read it while we're.
So he got a Judge Yankees jersey. Nice.
Yeah.
That's hard.
It's gonna suck when he leaves, though. That's what.
Yeah, you should have got a Judge. You should have got a Judge Dodgers jersey, shouldn't you? I think, is that not where he's at?
Just kidding, Hard Flex.
Dude,
come on.
If he goes to the Dodgers and Mookie Betts plays second base,
that would be hilarious because he actually played second before.
Yes, he plays second normally. Yeah.
People still trolling Dylan. 3 weeks later, Dylan still can't get away from it. I'm here for all of that. So yeah, I haven't got much to add to the handicaps really. You boys have covered everything. I think when you handicap the series, which we've done a lot of work on the series, you kind of game one almost has to follow that handicap of the series because I've taken Houston in 5, so it kind of leads you down an avenue. And I think this money line price for Houston's great, like minus 140. I think it's a cracking value. We often talk about the unit and a half play, don't we, on minus 150. You get a little bit of a better price here. So I'm okay with that. The total is skinny at 6.5. Now Dylan's given out the run line. I've got a fancy price one here. This is a plus 600 bet for this, and it's Houston to win the game by exactly 2 runs. Is going to be my pick. You like that? Noah loves this weird shit.
I love it.
It's going to be 3-1-4-2. It might come under.
There you go.
And under 6.5 is that plus money as well.
It scares me with the bullpens, Phillies specifically.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just said six of the 7 games. Houston have won by 1 or 2. Houston were the winningest. I hate to say that's a right American thing to say that. That with the on the run line all season, Houston had the best the best run line. The most wins. You say winningest, you Americans, all the time. I've heard you. Yeah, you do. So they covered the run line more than any other team. So yeah, let's get Houston. Just like I say, a bit of a pizza bet plus 600. That's going to be my other one. So there you go. That's game one covered. Captain Sano, I think, throwing me a bone. He likes my picks as well. So yeah, we'll do some DFS stuff. Dylan has never played DFS before. Absolutely blows my mind that.
Moonoff sent his plays in the chat.
Oh, can you go on then, Hills?
So I have to pull it up. Just give me 2 seconds. Moonoff is on the come on, where is it at? It got swamped in our chat. All right, his lock is Aaron Nola over 5.5 strikeouts. He's had 6 in 3 postseason starts. So if he gets 6 again in his 4th postseason start, I can totally see that happening. And his dog is the Phillies' first 5 money line plus 125 against his Houston Astros.
Wow.
Now I can make the argument for this. Classic Verlander gets hit in the first 2 innings, and then it settles in. This, like the way it happened in the Yankees, Bader hits a bomb, and the Astros offense comes around. Verlander keeps going. The way it happened in Seattle, Verlander got bum rushed. It's happened in 2 straight postseason starts. His World Series numbers are not great. It could happen. I like the play.
So for game one, Verlander gives up a home run. The Phillies are leading after 5. Nola and Verlander strike everybody out. Houston come back later on and win.
Bregman 3-run bomb.
Win. Chas McCormick's, get it right. Ooh. Chas McCormick with a 3-run homer. Astros win 3-1. Run line covers. They win by exactly 2. The under hits. Houston hits. First 5 Phillies. All the strikeouts have popped. We've absolutely wiped the floor with everything. There you go. Easy game, innit? No house advantage are changing the game, not as much as us, by offering the most dynamic fantasy sports platform available today. Playing pick'em contests versus other people. You can win over 250,000 in cash. Download the app, choose a contest, select your players, climb the leaderboard to win that big money. You can win 20 times your entry if you hit all your picks. NFL, NBA, MLB, PGA, NASCAR, all sorts of stuff there. Our promo code is SGPN at nohouseadvantage.com, or download the app to get a first deposit match up to $25. That's nohouseadvantage.com with the promo code SGPN. Check out No House Advantage today. It's not just how you play, it's where you play. You won't want to miss out on this promotion. Right, okay, DFS for game one then.
Malcolm, real quick, in the chat.
Yes, hit me.
Sano's asking, no runs first inning. Do you think it's going to happen?
Such a DJ's bet that, Nick. It's a proper.
Why do they call it Nerfy?
No runs.
No run first inning.
It's like, can't you just say no runs first inning?
MLB gambling podcast.
I know, but some of these names are getting ridiculous. Why can't we just say no runs first inning? Why you got to say Nerfy? That sounds. You know what I mean?
Everybody loves an acronym.
Oh yeah. My God. Come on, Insano. Don't say come on me. Come on you.
Dylan's still getting it in his neck. Right.
I think the no runs first inning is in trouble. I think Verlander might get touched early. I think he might get touched, just bruised early. 1 run.
Can't you see Nola getting hit as well, though?
Both of the pitchers' totals are 1.5, and the under is favored for both. I'm just going to say that. So
what's Malcolm laughing about?
I'm just laughing at everyone bickering in the chat box and having to go at Dylan. It's just funny.
That's great.
The weekly buffoon sighting. It's normally Noah. Noah's the show buffoon, but yeah, you're having a little
on mute. I'm on a roll.
Yeah, it's been about 3 weeks. Like, it's a world record. Right, Dylan, riddle me this. Why have you never played DFS before? It's just the natural thing that us gamblers
really
do.
Got around to it. I was just so busy betting on the side total player props that I knew what it was and I knew people did it, but I didn't understand, like, I have a certain salary. Like, I didn't understand buying players, and then you have a certain amount, like, You guys should have seen the background. Like, I had an awful lineup until these 2 guys helped me.
Yeah, you had 2 players in there who probably not even on the Yeah, not even on the playoff roster, I don't think. But we've sorted it out. So yeah, it's just, I think you'll get into it. Hopefully, you'll enjoy it tomorrow. It's great on the football as well. Like, and I said to Noah earlier on that I often use it instead of if there's a football match on it, I don't want to have a bet, or I'm a bit cold. I've lost 5 in a row. I think instead of putting 20 quid on the football, just you stick a $5 DFS lineup on, and it just scratches the itch. You've got some action. Then you could just settle down, get on with the rest of your life.
Can you make more money in that than actually betting the game?
Yeah. The problem is, Malcolm, is our listeners, they don't know if you're talking football or football. What do you
Yeah, that is. Yeah, well, both actually. I play football and football. It's not very good on soccer because you can't quantify stuff. In NFL, a 10-yard catch is a 10-yard catch. A 12-yard run is a 12-yard run.
It's kind of easy to predict too, I would say.
Yeah,
really.
It's way easier than baseball. Baseball's random. So
yeah, I'm gonna come to you for my DFS and football. I'm gonna start playing it.
The guys on SGP are great.
Have a game on Sunday. They did the Ryan and Sean's DFS show is one of my favorite listens of the week. I absolutely love it. I normally come home with something like Irv Smith Jr. written on my leg because I've been listening in the car and like I've got nowhere to write all this shit down. So I'll have a pen and my shorts on. So I'll come in and Bob say, "Dad, like why have you got Hayden Hurst written on your leg again?" I was like, "Okay, because I need to play him in DFS on Sunday."
That is great.
I love it.
So right, okay. So it's a showdown. 6 players, captain 1.5 times your salary, 4.5 times your points. I mean, really, you've got 2 options here, which was to get both pitchers in and then all the bum hitters, or you could fade one pitcher if you think that we're going to get hit and try and get a few more premium bats in. So I'll tell you what, Noah, you're the experienced player. You lead us off with your captain. Or maybe a little bit of strategy behind your team.
Yeah, I hate being called experienced when it comes to DFS, but I have had a little hot streak in DFS. Only 3 of our episodes were losing lineups, so you know what? I'll take it. The captain for me is Mr. 50-1 MVP himself.
Oh, you put Chaz in.
McCormick.
You bad man.
Yes, sir. So at 9.3K at captain, it's Chaz McCormick hitting 250 in the postseason, 2 taters, 898 OPS. Give him to me at the bottom of the order. It allows me to open up the pocketbook later on.
Absolutely, yeah. That'll leave you plenty of. And the thing with that is, he's not going to be. There's not many people going to captain him as well. So it's quite a contrarian angle in. Like, I've gone the exact opposite and captained the most expensive player on the board. I've gone for Justin Verlander. I couldn't get away from this. Is a pitching duel. So we've just talked about low scoring. We've talked about strikeouts. You've talked about these pitchers getting the wins. All of these things. So if the bats aren't going to hit, you've got to go with the pitcher. So yeah, it's not. I'm not going to win any prizes for originality, but give me JV $16,200. It is time and a half price. So yeah, I've got Verlander in my skipper role. Dylan, how did you start constructing your lineup? What have you got?
I had no idea. Disclaimer, I had no idea what I was doing. I was literally just picking the most random, the best players, and then I realized I couldn't get them anymore because I ran out of money. So that just shows you. But I had to revamp it just to get players that are going to start. So don't know why, but I have Kyle Tucker at my captain position.
You know what? I like it, though. He's been silent in the postseason.
Yeah.
And he's going to see a lot of right-handed pitching. He's going to see a lot of right-handed pitching.
And Aaron Nola, we see him getting touched up, so I do like it.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, Noah, number 2?
My number 2 is Justin Verlander for what you said. And you know what, Malcolm? I don't know if that play at him at captain is going to be chalky. I think it's contrarian. I'm playing JV at 10.8K, and everybody looks at the high price. He's the most expensive player on the slate, and I think they're going to turn away. Look at his career World Series numbers and his record. He's 0-6. And I think, we see classic JV. So I'm gonna jump into that pool. I'm taking the highest price guy on the line on the slate. I think that he's going to be relatively lower owned. I don't think he's going to be extremely chalky.
Just so you know, we're going to throw out a $2 DFS contest. I think it's live actually. If you're in the SGPN Baseball League, but if not, we'll tweet it out. Make sure if you stick the link on Twitter, you boys tomorrow. Captain Insane will be in there. Looks like he's going to captain Jordan maybe. So yeah, we'll throw this out, a little $2 pizza bet game as well. So my second player, the other pitcher, Aaron Nola, 10,600, averaging 22 fantasy points per game. Same reasons, low scoring, strikeouts, get him in. I just think Verlander's more likely to pick up the win. So yeah, I've gone both pitchers here, Dylan.
Do you get points for the win?
Yes.
You get not 4 maybe, I think. It's not
sound like such a rookie, but how do you accumulate points? And that's my thing.
So the win is 4. That's crucial. Outs recorded is points. Strikeouts are big. That's the biggest thing.
What if the guy hits a 3-run shot?
Then runs allowed are against you.
Okay. I got Justin Verlander at the second spot. I think he's going to dominate. I think we see a typical Justin Verlander spot. I think he might have a hiccup in the first, second inning, but then settle in after that. So I like Justin Verlander in the 2 spot.
Noah next.
Yeah, I think JV is a must roster for the slate. Just a source of points, and a source of points is where I'm also going for my third player, which is Aaron Nola. I think it's a low scoring game. Even if he does struggle and get touched up early, I think he needs to go at least 6 innings pitched to lessen the stress on the Phillies bullpen. With a few Ks, I can count on probably 6. He's had 6 in 3 straight postseason games. I just need a source of points. So give me Aaron Nola.
Okay, so my 4 bats, I pretty much had to take the only 4 bats that are going to start because I'd captain JV and taken Nola. So yeah, I was right down the cheap end. I was in the bargain bin here. But actually, I'm quite happy with all of them. I've got no issues. I've got 3 more Astros. I've stacked the Astros. I've got 1 Philly. So I'll go through my Astros first. And my first one's Chas McCormick. Makes sense. We talked about him last night. We think he's going to go okay, give us a chance of cashing that 50-1 ticket. So yeah, Chas McCormick at 6,200 for me. Dylan, your number 3 player?
Yeah, my number 3 player is going to be my World Series MVP, Alex Bregman. I got him for 9,200. I think he's one of the hottest hitters behind Yordan Alvarez, and I think he might have a shot at that 12-1 ticket. So I think he gets plenty of opportunities batting behind Yordan. So I got him at 3.
A good thing to do, Dylan, when you've done this kind of by accident there, where you've got Tucker and Bregman, is a little stack, because what you want is when your player hits a 3-run home run, you want him to knock in the 2 players in front of him. So you'll often see, if you take a 1-2-3 or even a 9-1-2, do you know what I mean? So yeah, if you get the RBIs, if someone hits the homer, you want them to have knocked in the 2 guys that you've knocked in. So you're kind of accidentally you've fallen upon a nice little stack there, Bregman and Tucker. They'll be quite near each other in the lineup, I think.
When you experiment with the NFL this weekend, a stack is the way to go. You want the QB and you want a star wide receiver because he's just going to feed him the ball. So whether you go,
all right, I get it.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, he's going to be a pro.
Yeah, now I'm going to be a pro at this. And a disclaimer too, I only picked 1 Philly as well.
That's why you just need to have 1. You need to have at least 1 from each side. So number, where are we now? 4. Nowhere.
My 4th player that I'm going to roster at 6.8K is Jean Segura. Now, I mean, those that have listened to our DFS pods, you've known that he's pretty much been my spirit animal. Like, he's recorded points in 8 of his last 11 postseason games. I'm just looking for a source of points. I don't care if he's not going to hit a home run. He's going to get on base. He might steal a bag. I love it.
Okay, next I've got more Houston Astros. Yuli Gurriel, $6,000.
Amazing price.
Yeah, cheap as chips, because he's been just putting the ball in play. We talked about it last night. He's put the ball in play all postseason, and at a bargain price, you need someone who's going to chip away with these points. So yeah, so give me Gurriel. There's been a bit of talk about him for MVP and stuff, and I thought that was a great price, and I was happy to see it because I needed a few cheaper options. So I'll take Gurriel there. Dylan, next.
Same thing as Noah, Jean Segura at 6,800. Everything Noah said, I trust him. Give me a bunch of points, steal some bags, get a couple hits. I'll take you.
Yeah, stolen bags from 5 points for a stolen bag, Dylan.
What's the most points we could get for a player?
It's a home run.
And how many is that?
A home run is 14, and then each RBI on it is an extra 2 points.
Oh, I need a grand slam.
Yeah, grand mate. Oh, you've dancing around the living room. I've danced around the living room more than once when they hit a grand slam. I rack those points up, especially when the points are coming off an opposing player's pitcher as well. That's good fun.
The night that Jordan hit the 3-run home run walk-off, Malcolm had him rostered, and that's what beat me in that slate. So, hey, the bots are showing up in the chat.
Yeah.
No, get him out. Block him.
Hang on a minute. This is a dating site here. Let's not be too hasty, boys.
89 mega.
Well, dating might be loose. Dating might be a loose term for what they're trying to arrange for or something.
Hey, that's when you know you made it big time. I'll take it as a compliment.
The bots are here. Okay, number 5, Noah.
All right, my 5th player, I'm going back to the well. I think it's going to be chalk, but at 6K, how do you not roster Yuli Gurriel? He will probably I think he's going to be chalk, but I don't care. We're getting the Astros' best player in this postseason at 6K. I need it. I mean, this guy has been unbelievable. I can go pull up the stats, but Malcolm already did a good enough job talking about him. Now you got 2 guys on him. I love Gurriel at 6K.
My 5th player in my final Astro was pretty much the cheapest player who's definitely going to start, really. I had no choice. It also gives Noah a chance to use his sound drop. $4,600 was Martin Maldonado.
Yeah, I'll hit it.
They got Houston.
You asked for Houston, they got Houston. Martin Maldonado, he's not actually been terrible as well in the postseason. So, this was just a necessity more than anything else for Maldonado. 4,600, Dylan?
Chad McCormick for me.
Yeah, team ride on Chad.
No really reason why. I just needed a filler, and you guys told me he was good, so he's in the lineup. Hopefully, I hope honestly the Astros just kill the Phillies. Besides Gene Segura, I hope Gene Segura goes off, steals every bag, hits a couple home runs. But other than that, I'm banking on all these Astros. We need a huge night, boys.
McCormick can swipe it back too.
Exactly. What if he gets hit? Does that count?
Yeah, you get up.
Yeah, you can have 2 points for that, mate. No problem.
Walk.
Yeah, everything.
Oh,
Everything
I like
means something. Yeah. Dylan's well into this $2. We've created a monster now with his first $2 DraftKings lineup. He's gone berserk. Who's your last man, Noah?
Yeah, join us and play DFS. We have a SGPN baseball contest. We'll send the link on Twitter and also in the Discord chat. My 6th and final player, I'm going back to the Phillies side. At 6.4K, I'm classifying this as a punt. It's Bryson Stott. I really don't have much of a reason for the play, but he's most likely going to see right-handed pitching. He's down at the bottom of the order. They're not going to bring in a left-handed pitcher, especially for him, knowing that the Astros really don't have many lefties in the pen. So I'll take my chances with Stott against a right-handed pitcher.
Yeah, Bryson Stott for me as well, 6,400. Can steal a bag. And yeah, apart from that, he's bits and bobs player, really. Bit of a punt. Brandon Marsh was the other option that we had down there. I had to get a Philly in. So Marsh or Stott. But yeah, give me Bryson Stott. I've followed him this season. He has quite a lot of airtime ever since Johnny Junta put us onto him in our pre-season, what seems like about 20 years ago. But yeah, give me Bryson Stott. Dylan, who have you rounded out your first ever winning lineup with?
I'm telling you, the more I go through it, the more I feel confident I'm going to win.
He loves it. This is a sign of a DFA. You instantly fall in. It's like when you draft your fantasy team, you instantly fall in love with it.
I love it. Martin Maldonado, I got him for 4,600 just because he's going to start. He's going to hit a home run. He's going to do it all. So give me Martin Maldonado.
They out for Houston. They got Houston.
Let's go. And I left you with $400 to spare.
Oh, there you go. So yeah, make sure you check the lineup, Dylan. Just in case someone's not playing when they announce the lineup tomorrow, so you can change it about. You can pivot to somebody else if you need to. Lineup changes all important. And that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I think unless either of you two have got any more insane bets that you want to give out before we crack on,
I'd like to say one thing. 11 years ago today, we will see you tomorrow night for Game 1 of the World Series. 11 years ago today, David Freese had like the most classic postseason home run. Joe Buck gave us that call, and whether you like him or not, Joe Buck's not going to be on the World Series call this year. It's Joe Davis.
Oh.
So there we go. Malcolm?
Anything's better than Bob Costa.
Malcolm, did you like Bob Costas?
I wasn't sure which one. I saw loads of stuff on Twitter that he was making a fool of himself. But I don't think I listened to any of his calls.
So in the division series, he was doing the Astros series, and then during the championship series, he was the post game for the Astros.
Well, I think that was
about anything. That was my problem.
Did you
someone would make a big catch and you'd be like, and he's out. That's gonna end the inning.
He's just like I don't know how to explain it, but Malcolm, did you see or do you know of Pedro Martinez? Did you see the clip that I put out of him?
Was that the one about apologizing to his family?
No.
That was
Daddy.
Pedro Strop, wasn't it?
Yes, Pedro Strop was the one about that's Costas talking about Strop walking off the field. No, Pedro Martinez
that's
in the
funny
post.
As hell though.
It is. Martinez walking with the post game with Costas. Costas gives Martinez the floor and he goes, "Hey Astros, who's your daddy?" Or he goes, "Hey Yankees, who's your daddy? May I say Astros?" And it's just
and he goes, "It's not me. It's not Big Papi. It's the Astros."
It's hilarious. Yeah, I butchered it, but it was funny.
Good time. So there's a lot of, as you can tell, there's a lot of World Series enthusiasm around the MLB Gambling Podcast gang.
To watch it?
Oh, do you know? It's late, and
it's only 1:30 in the morning.
Oh, I've got shit to do on Saturday. The other option is I try and avoid the score, and then watch it when I get back, which is a possibility. If I just don't look at the Slack channel or any shit, I've got to take the boy to football. When I get back at lunchtime, I could try watching it then as fresh. So,
Malcolm, one of the best feelings in the world is waking up to your sports book just growing in incremental amount of money. So
I will have to turn everything off. But I will try and get the first. It's a game one of the World Series. I mean, I've handicapped 162 days of this bollocks, so I've got to stop up for the first game. So cheers, Dylan. That was lots of fun. It's been lovely having you back. And I've enjoyed talking you through your first DFS experience as well. Hopefully you can pop your cherry there tomorrow night and we'll see you in the winner's circle. Noah, wonderful enthusiasm as ever. Well done last night and tonight. The World Series predictions have been great, and all your pitching stuff's been excellent as well. Thanks everyone for listening. The chat's been fun as well. Captain Sado, Hardflex, everybody else who's listened and chirped up. We really appreciate it. I enjoyed the bot. The bot was good. Don't forget about the contest on the SGPN app, the MLB, the World Series props contest as well. You've got a few hours to get that in. Good luck with all your bets tomorrow. Enjoy the game. We'll probably be back at some point to look at game 2. Hopefully talk about all the winners we picked in game 1. So enjoy the World Series, people. And until then, we'll see you down the road. Cheers.